Alright, we've got a lot to cover, so let's get into it. Welcome to my channel. This is Spicy Dungeoneer, and we're looking at Stormgar Transmuter Mage, level 4. This is the fourth video in this series, and basically at this level we are seeing Stormgar become a local hero. That's tier 1, but actually, as we know, he's a villain, at least for the purposes of our game. I think that this level is quite important for him because this is really a level that the party might actually encounter him as a mini boss. Before, he's been sort of an apprentice or a minion. He still is a minion to his mentor and to the larger wizard gangster crime syndicate, but now he's probably got a few people that work for him as well, and so let's have a look at that. Later on, he becomes more powerful, of course, and we'll cover that in future videos. At 4th level, we get an ASI or a feat. It's tempting to increase his intelligence because that is what wizards need. However, I have gone with Warcaster. So Warcaster is a great feat for wizards and basically gives an advantage to Constitution. So even though we didn't get that ASI, it's sort of an indirect buff to Constitution, which is something that I like to do for my characters anyway. Also lets him use a shield if he can in the future. Not that he can at the moment because he's only a wizard, but it's the option there for a multi-class if you wanted to put that in. And he can cast spells as an attack of opportunity. So he added some more, a prepared spell. I'll get more into his spells later, and his hit points has gone up to 26. Generally, I play Stormgar as an agent of change, so even in the story, even though he is viewed as something that is a little bit mysterious, and there's the threat that he will turn you into a toad, or like those stories about the wizard or the witch that will shape change somebody into something. He turned me into a newt, sort of thing. So all of that is the story that Stormgar will develop into. Anyway, so I added an arcane focused just because I thought it would be cool, but I didn't want to give him a wand like Harry Potter or a staff like Gandalf, even though Gandalf's really cool. I went instead for this cat's eye gem or orb or crystal, and he could maybe have it in an amulet or carry it as an orb, but I didn't. Thing is, with something really big, you could drop it. But anyway, so that's what I thought. I thought the cat's eye would be really interesting and sort of fit in with his shape-changing stuff a bit later. I also thought about his character sheet and having this pet mouse, and really a pet mouse only lives for about 1 to 3 years, so I thought maybe the mouse might have died by now, and that would be his sort of last tie to anything that was emotional, and that he gets colder from now on. And so this is sort of marking the transition from tier 1 into tier 2 for his character. So he's giving up this sort of boyhood pet, and I never really thought that Stormgar would have a familiar. That's why I didn't choose that spell. And so I think because in the future he's going to be shape changing and making other people change and stuff like that, and just having another creature around might complicate things. He's not a summoner by any means. I added some flavor text, which you can pause this video and read if you'd like. It's also on the character sheet. I thought since he's getting into transmutation magic, he might be studying about lycanthropes. Maybe he's even seen some were-rats living in the sewers of the big city that he's from, or heard of werewolves, or even were-bears, or maybe were-tigers, who knows. So he's carrying a silver dagger now, and that's something that's I just added to the character sheet. Then I thought, well, he might need a bit of a buff to his armor class, because it was only 12, so I've gotten up to 14 by adding this braces of defense. And I added a magic missile scroll, so he could use that at least once. If you don't like the braces, you're welcome to change it to a ring of protection, or just increase his dexterity by 2. If you feel like the encounter's too easy and the party just easily dispatched him at this level, then maybe they don't deserve the braces plus 2. That'll be up to the DM. And definitely that magic missile scroll will at least give him 1 shot. Oh, that's pretty good. And he does have other spells, as I'll mention later, though, and also open up the possibility of the players seeing that he has different scrolls, because he has other scrolls as well. Just before we move on, though, I'd like to mention that if you would like your own spell book, I do sell notebooks with bespoke covers on them, and you can get them at Amazon at those links below. I'll put the links in the description to this video. It helps me, and basically Norman Creek Press is my independent publishing business, and if you check out those links you can find out more about the books I sell. There are a few interesting ones, and like I said, lots of notebooks and journals and things like that for you to use for your D&D themes, with D&D themes and other themes for your druid characters, and books about wizardry and stuff like that. Anyway, moving on, I was thinking about Stormgar and what religion he might have, and he's pretty jaded, so he's not going to be too religious, or maybe not even religious at all, but I think in Faerun he might be into Talos, but Talos is evil, I think, so he wouldn't be, he's chaotic, he's not evil. So he's got that kind of trickster energy, so gods which are in charge of shape-changing and chaos. Loki wasn't always evil. He sometimes helped the Norse gods, so more sort of that sort of a feel rather than evil. Anyway, let's have a look at his combat options. He's going to have allies. I mentioned in the last video that there might be commoners or first level wizard apprentices around him that will fight with him. You could use bandits, or also the apprentice wizards from the monster manual, and so that's pretty good. And then really though, Stormgar is quite happy to run away, and even while his allies distract the party, he might use some sort of jump or stealth, his city secrets, even featherfall to get away, expeditious retreat. He might use his disguise kit to change how he looks, and he could use prestidigitation to distract the party, or dark vision to run into some dark sewers or secret tunnels or something like that to get away. He might be on a spying or hiding mission in which he'll use his stealth and maybe his disguise kit. He might be sent to spy on the party. That's obviously a fake moustache, but I thought that was pretty funny. But anyway, you get the idea. In terms of combat, his best spell is Catapult, and that's a dex save. And as a second level spell, he can do 48 bludgeoning damage. And the spell's got a 60-foot range that shoots something 90 foot, so that's 150 range, which isn't too bad. He's also got that scroll of magic missiles, so don't forget about that. And Dragon Breath basically lasts for a minute or concentration, so he would probably cast it on himself and choose one of those damage types that he thinks is going to do the most damage to them. Obviously, if there's a tiefling or something, you won't use fire. You know, he'll make an intelligent decision about that. And then when he's out of his spells or close to dying, and remember he does have a healing potion as well, he'll run away, jump, use his sling bullets +1 from a distance or a rooftop, and then go back to his darts and daggers and things like that, and then hopefully run away. So what do you think? I'll post a link to the character in the description so you can check out his spells. He's got a lot of other spells in his spell book. Transmutation School doesn't have a lot of attack spells, but he's got like Alter Self, which he could have natural weapons as well. But he just hasn't prepared that in the way that I have him, but maybe in the future that will be an option. Anyway, thanks for listening. I hope you're enjoying these videos. They're actually a lot of work, more work than you think. I do think about them over a couple of days and look at different options and stuff like that. But it is a lot of fun, and I'm really enjoying fleshing out this character. I have never really played him at this level. I've always had him as a very high level mage, but it's kind of fun to think about his history in more depth and build him up from scratch. So I'm having fun. I hope you're having fun. If you want to comment and we can have a chat about different things, about the School of Transmutation and other spells that he could be using. Maybe there's a book with some spells that I haven't used that you could recommend. Otherwise, please subscribe, like, turn on notifications, all the YouTube things, and I will see you later. Bye for now.